Hello Libra, welcome to your story for the week. Keep in mind that this story may be more relevant to your past or your future than your present, but I'm sure there will be something here for you. Okay. So taking our characters from the night sky constellation playing cards. Story revolves around Crater, the Cup, the Three of Hearts, the Cup, a party, a very, very important party. How Libran. Okay. Oh, wow. And then we have the Three of Diamonds, which is Camelopardalis. Okay, yeah. The giraffe. This actually featured in one of the stories this week. I can't remember what sign, but anyway. All right, so we have a party of giraffes, or giraffe party, or maybe a party with like, captured giraffes. So we're talking like an ancient Roman party, okay? Imagine, if you will, long ago, in the vast lands of the Roman Empire, a party, the local regent, governor, whatever, what have you, who had just been gifted a pair of giraffe. All right. Woo. Okay. I like it. So, once upon a time in ancient Rome, the far expanse of the empire, lived a governor who had just been gifted a beautiful pair of giraffes. This governor had been governing a long time, you see, and had done much to develop the lands in which he lived. His family had also gone on to serve their community. You see, this was his 50th birthday. And he had endured so much trial and tribulation that past year that it really was an important occasion to celebrate not only living through the hardships and overcoming, but also to celebrate everything that there was to look forward to. And these giraffes that had been gifted were just like the centerpiece, mind you, of what this party would entail. They would be brought out to like impress all the local people. Okay, so we have the King of Wands here, Virginia Woolf. All right. This party was going to require a great deal of planning, and his main go-to for like party planning was, of course, his wife. She was a noble woman, and she had been like raised into this life of arranging these sorts of events, and she knew everyone far and wide. She was very secretarial. So he reached out to her. All right, I need your help. This party is going to be nothing without you. Nothing. And his wife, of course, had bared a great deal of hardship that year as well. The trials and tribulations had rocked his family. There was all manner of intrigue, protection from structural collapse. Okay. You see, all of his family were civil servants, mind you. There was no one in the family that didn't take on a greater responsibility in their community. And his wife is no exception. And actually she had been helping with a road reconstruction project. Okay, so she had been like actually, you know, helping in terms of the social structure of this community. So, you know, she would need time, mind you, to like plan this party, but there was only a month before they realized like that they were going to need to have this big celebration. So she says to him, she's like, I can only do so much here. You know, I'm at my limits. I'm already, you know, working how many hours a day. You know, I'm not home half the time. I don't know how I'm going to be networking. What type of party we're supposed to have here. And he's like, you know, I really, you know, I defer to your better judgment here, you know. She's like, give me a day off, you know. I need to be left alone, basically, and in my, you know, apartments to do what I gotta do, you know. I don't know what they're called in ancient Rome, you know. They lived in, the noble people, they lived in what are called like villas, and, you know, they were like expansive, but, you know, she had her own space, and she's like, no one is to disturb me. All right, so she goes into her space, you know, and I'm wondering now if maybe she's like the main character here. I don't know exactly. I think, yeah. And it get back to this cup too, this sense of cup. Okay, so she's in her space. She goes into her quarters, basically, and she gets completely nude, right? And she starts, like, she's fasting, so she only has water, you know, in there. And the only person who's, like, really dealing with her is one of her servants. So she's being attended to by this servant as she, you know, she boards up all, like, the windows, you know, everything's covered. It's dark in her room. She goes into this, like, cocoon space, and she starts doing this, like, very bizarre dance, because, you know, even though she was like a noblewoman and she had been, you know, married to a governor, and she was really responsible for a lot of civil projects, and like outwardly had a very normie life, if you will, she also had a really incredible connection to the spiritual world and powers that unfortunately weren't really able to get utilized except for in rare circumstances. And she didn't really talk to her family about these things, right? This is why she said, I just need this time to myself. Okay. And she comes up with the idea, you know, because in terms of networking and what she had been doing, you know, in the past year, she had been like actually amongst the people quite a bit. You know, her role would be to go into the community and actually like talk to the people about what they were requiring in terms of like building this city complex that, you know, they were all living in, and making it as comfortable for the Romans living in these, like, this, you know, they're out in the expanses of the empire. So she's like, you know, she has this role of like civilizing the area, if you will, making it comfortable for like families to live. So she gets this idea, okay, well, who is this party really about? You know, this land that my husband governs, you know, it's all been about making this place, you know, as, you know, humanized as possible, making this place as open to like freedom and trade and, I don't know, civility, if you will. So she's thinking of all these concepts, right? And she realizes something, you know, she thinks that they need to have a kind of democratic style, you know, ancient Greco style or Grecian style party with these themes. And she's, she comes up with, okay, well, let's do a basically, like a forum, a public forum where every citizen can attend and can speak, their truth into this forum, because, they hadn't really developed that. And, the crowning thing would be these giraffes that could be brought through the forum, So she's thinking, okay, like, well, we've built up the city. Where are we going to create our public forum? Right. So she has to get the space, mind you. And she realizes, like, there's not really a space here. So she realizes something. This party is going to be the start of something. It's not the celebration of the past. It's a celebration of the future. So she goes to her husband and she says, I've had a vision. And this isn't the first time in their relationship that she says this to him, and he always stops and gets really serious, and has this conversation with her. Okay, like, when this happens, what have you seen? And she said, we are to bring Grecian civility to the people of this land. We are going to have your party in the square, the town, in a public forum. And he's like, well, there is no public forum. She's like, yes, there isn't. You are correct, right? So she tells him that they are to take this entire party to the outskirts of the town, right? The outskirts of the city walls. And they are to essentially have the people meet in an area that is going to be their next civil project, which is the creation of a town forum, a town square, if you will, a place where people can meet and discuss ideas and can mingle amongst one another and can strategize and can participate in their community. And he listens intently and he's like, whoa, how are we going to move all the people out? How are we going to arrange this? Like, and she's like, don't worry about it. She knows all the people, that will be building the project. Okay. So it's not a problem. She's got that covered. What she tells him is that he needs to basically get land surveyors to go around the outskirts of the village and find the perfect, or not village, the town, for people to congregate on. It needs to be an area that is somewhat flat. So he sends his people out. They go and they find a place, but it's a little bit further out than is necessarily safe. All right, because you have to think, like, there are city walls for a reason. And he realizes they're gonna have to, like, militarize this event. Okay. So, this isn't something that, like, he's had to really plan with his birthdays in the past, if you will, not to this extent. To actually have, like, soldiers lined up around protecting townspeople who are, like, out of the town. Like, it doesn't seem, it's just a wild idea. But he knows that she's onto something, because this is a party that's going to be forward-looking, not backward-looking. So he does it, basically. He does it, They take the people out there in the middle of the night, show them a place, you know, and a lot of them really aren't feeling it, actually. A lot of them are like, having trouble participating in the spirit of the idea, although, like, the giraffes were a wild success. Anyway, the giraffes, they go over, everyone's like impressed, but like they don't really know how to act in the forum, and they're looking over each other's shoulders and, wondering like, well, what is this really about? And, at the end, like after the party wraps up and they're like discussing like what to do next, they're like, yeah, we have to move forward on this project. Yes, this is a vision that came to you for a reason. And the reason is that we do have to move forward, and we have to build, and we have to expand, and we have to like create a very modern world. And we have to do it whether people are ready or not. So things get built, life goes on, and eventually the forum is built. Sadly, the forum is built and finished after they're both dead. They don't live to see the culmination of it. But for the people who it is created, it comes to be one of the most important places in their lives. And their descendants enjoy the benefits of the richer society that they helped build. Something to think about. All right, thank you for watching. Bye.